Hi everyone, my name is Anna Escamilla, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about elder abuse. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the index. This is going to be what we're going to be discussing in the PowerPoint. So, the first thing is what is elder abuse? Types of elder abuse. I'm going to give you guys some elder abuse statistics, risk factors, what are the warning signs, effects of abuse, and also where you can go for help. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is what elder abuse is exactly. According to helpguide.org, elder abuse includes physical, emotional, or sexual harm inflicted upon an older adult, their financial exploitation, or neglect of their welfare by people who are directly responsible for their care. The elderly are often more susceptible to abuse due to decline in function that naturally comes with aging. They're less likely to understand what's happening to them, fight back, or defend themselves. So, types of elder abuse. There are various forms of elder abuse. I have down like a couple of the main ones. So, physical abuse, the non accidental use of force against an elderly person that results in physical pain, injury, or impairment. This can include hitting, shoving, inappropriate use of drugs, restraints, confinements. Emotional abuse, the treatment of an older adult in ways that cause emotional or psychological pain or distress. This can be things like yelling, threats, humiliation, ridicule, habitual blaming, ignoring the elderly person, sexual abuse, sexual contact with an elderly person without their consent, so physical sexual acts, forcing the elderly person to watch sex acts, forcing the elderly person to undress, things of that sort. There's a couple more forms of abuse that I think would be helpful to know. There's elder neglect, which is the failure to fulfill a caretaking obligation. This is actually the most common form of abuse, taking up more than half of all reported cases. This can actually be either intentional or unintentional, so a lot of the times when people are perpetrating this form of neglect or abuse, they're not fully aware that they're doing it. There's abandonment, which is leaving a senior alone without planning for his or her care. Financial abuse, when money or belongings are stolen from an elderly person. This can include using that person's bank account or cards without their consent or knowledge, changing names on wills, forging checks, things like that. Healthcare fraud. This is actually one that I didn't know was a thing before researching all of this. So, healthcare fraud can be committed by doctors, hospital staff, or other healthcare workers. Some examples of this would be overcharging, billing twice for the same thing, falsifying Medicaid and Medicare claims, or charging for care that wasn't provided. Um, I think that a lot of times we assume that these people will do their best to take care of our elderly, but unfortunately, that's not always the case. So it's something to be mindful of in the future. Now, I wanted to give you guys a couple of elder abuse statistics. According to the National Council on Aging, it is estimated that approximately 1 in 10 Americans over the age of 60 have experienced some form of elder abuse. As high as 5 million elders are abused each year. Some studies estimate that only 1 in 14 cases are reported to authorities, so even when we actually find out about them, they're not actually receiving help. About 60% of elder abuse and neglect is perpetrated by family members, and then 2/3 of perpetrators are adult children or spouses. Risk factors. The most common victims of elder abuse tend to be women, but it does happen to men as well. Likely targets include older people with no family or friends nearby, elders with disabilities, mental problems, dementia, or really those who depend on others for help with everyday activities. What are the warning signs? Elder abuse is not always easy to recognize. A lot of the time, it can mimic behavior of dementia or other forms of frailty. So it's important to look for a cluster of the following behaviors. So these behaviors kind of include every different type of abuse that could be happening. So unexplained signs of injury, bruises, scratches, cuts, broken bones or sprains, inappropriate caregiver behavior. So if you see threatening, belittling, behavior from the elder that mimics dementia. So rocking, sucking, mumbling to themselves, torn, stained, or bloody underclothing, unusual weight loss, dehydration, malnutrition, items or cash missing from the elder's house, sudden change in financial status of the elder, duplicate billing for the same service, evidence of over or under medication. How to prevent elder abuse. So, one thing you can do is make sure the person caring for the elder is someone who can be trusted. That can be hard if they're living in a living facility or have an in-home nurse coming in, but kind of just monitor them and make sure that they're a good person with good intentions. So you can keep in touch with the elderly person on a regular basis, notice changes in their mood, behavior, appearance, things like that. Enlist someone who can be trusted to handle their finances. This can be a professional or a trusted friend or relative. If you suspect elder abuse is going on, either tell somebody else or call an elder abuse hotline. Where can you go for help? So I kind of saw conflicting information on this. Some people said to confront the abuser yourself. I say probably don't, just so that you don't upset them and then possibly make it worse for the elder who's being abused. So don't confront the abuser yourself. Find strength in numbers by telling other people and reaching out for help. If you're worried that you personally are going to perpetrate some sort of abuse, you can seek professional help for depression because that seems to be a pretty common factor. Take care of yourself, request help, take immediate steps to decrease stress and burnout because, again, those are pretty big contributing factors. There are often many local, state, and national services available for you. So, this website that I have right here is the Administration for Community Living. They have a bunch of different resources with different states on what to do, who to call. So, this is a really great website to check out. There's also the Elder Care Locator. So, if you need somebody to be moved from wherever they're at, obviously an elderly person, that number is 1-800 677 1116, and they will do their best to get that person out as quickly as possible. One thing that's important to note, if you believe that somebody is in urgent danger, call 911 immediately. Get them help as fast as possible. Finally, these are the sources that I used. I highly recommend if you're curious about elder abuse and all that sort of stuff to check these out. They're very, very helpful. Other than that, that's kind of all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, maybe learned a thing or two, and thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye.